Hi, this is Mary MacGregor, torn between two lovers. And I was looking at the description and it was like written by Peter Yarrow, Philip Jarrell. But isn't Peter Yarrow from Peter, Paul, and Mary? I just know Puff the Magic Dragon. That's my main um, Peter, Paul, and Mary reference. However, is she the Mary of Peter, Paul, and Mary? Maybe. I'm gonna say 50% chance or maybe higher, but maybe I'm wrong, maybe I'm right, or Mary is just a very common name. All right, Torn Between Two Lovers, 1976, but a show of live performance from 1977. Or is this a slideshow? Oh, pretty.
There are times when a woman has to say what's on her mind, even though she knows how much it's gonna hurt. Before I say another word, let me tell you I love you. Let me hold you close and say these words as gently as I can. There's been another man that I've needed and I've loved, but that doesn't mean I love you less. And he knows he can't possess me, and he knows he never will. There's just this empty place inside of me that only he can fill. Torn between two lovers, feeling like a fool. Loving both of you is breaking all the rules. Torn between two lovers, feeling like a fool. Loving you both is breaking all the rules. You mustn't think you failed me just because there's someone else. You were the first real love I ever had. And all the things I ever said, I swear they still are true. For no one else can have the part of me I gave to you. Torn between two lovers, feeling like a fool. Loving both of you is breaking all the rules. Torn between two lovers, feeling like a fool. Loving you both is breaking all the rules. I couldn't really blame you if you turned and walked away, but with everything I feel inside, I'm asking you to stay. Torn between two lovers, feeling like a fool. Loving both of you is breaking all the rules. Torn between two lovers, feeling like a fool. Loving you both is breaking all the rules. Torn between two lovers, feeling like a fool. Loving both of you is breaking all the rules. Torn between two lovers, feeling like a fool. Loving you both is breaking all the rules.
Wow. I like that song a lot. I like it because she is basically saying, I'm poly. That's like polyamorous. She's basically like, there's there's someone else, but I don't want to get rid of you either. I don't want to just leave you for him. So I'm just kind of gonna see both of you. And I think that's very brave. I also think it's so interesting because she just seems like the sweetest, gentle, innocent girl. Like she presents as like the most sweet, kind of like chaste, I guess. Like she kind of has this very like look, she's wearing like very high collar, long sleeve. She has a very conservative haircut. Her makeup is very subtle. She's not wearing like skanky makeup or anything. She's just like the most like sweet appearing girl. And then her voice is so also very gentle and just like torn between two lovers, feeling like a fool. Loving you is da da da, is breaking all the rules. Right? It's just so sweet. And you would usually a song like this nowadays would be some kind of like pop song. It'd be like either like some rap song or it's kind of ratchet. And she's like, I'm kind of have two men. And it'd be very like the girl's kind of skanky, right? And so in this, you're like, oh my God, she's so genuine. She's so genuinely torn between these two men. And she can't only choose one because she loves them both. And I think that's great. And then the part where she's like, maybe you'll choose to walk away, but I'm hoping that you'll stay. I mean, wow, because I don't know, a lot of men don't want to do that. Like, as my brother always said, men don't like to share. That's what my brother always said. He's like, men don't like to share. But that's also just like when kids are little, you don't want to share your toys. People are kind of like, they want to keep everything for themselves. So, but especially men don't like to share women, right? Like, that's like very against nature for them. And as I've heard by evolutionary biologists, if you think about it, there was before we had DNA testing, it was like very important to secure your offspring, right? It was very important to make sure that your children were your children. So there's this sense of, okay, well, I have to marry this woman and keep her, right? Like very protected to make sure that only I have access to her to ensure that it's my lineage when she's pregnant, right? Like that, because women can get pregnant by multiple people, right? So that's kind of like evolutionary biological drive for men to be, let's just say, possessive, but I don't mean that in like a negative. I mean that in a evolutionary biology sense, right? Like you want to make sure that you're the one getting your woman pregnant and not someone else. That's just evolutionary, right? So it's very against the nature of men to be like, oh yeah, I'm totally fine with you having two boyfriends and I'll just be one of them. So it's just, but because she comes off so sweet and genuine, you're almost like, honestly, I really sympathize with her point. Like I do. I was almost like, I can see where she's coming from. She's really torn between two lovers and she loves both of them and she doesn't want to, abandon one. She wants to have both. And you should just be understanding to that. I was very enchanted by this song. So I think it's a lovely song. I think it's so sweet. I think she has such a beautiful voice and it's done in such a gentle, folky way. Harmony's great. I was kind of singing the harmony through it. You may get annoyed, but whatever. It's such a good harmony. And she kept repeating the same chorus again. I was like, I can sing the chorus now. You guys have heard the chorus for this time. If I sing over it,
I'm asking you to stay.
Yeah, I mean, it's just like,
As I
like I have to tell you something. I'm going to tell this as gently as I can.
There's been another man.
There's been another man that I've needed
and I've loved. But that doesn't mean
I love you less. That, it's like, that's so genuine. She's like, and I always have said, I mean, I thought of this is something I came up with when I was like 28, okay, like a while back. I was like, abundance. You have to have an abundance mindset. People in a scarcity mindset, they get very nervous they get kind of anxious attachment and they're like very afraid of losing someone. And the thing is, that's a scarcity mindset. I've always said, like, there's probably more than one soulmate, right? There's many people who you could love. There's many people who will love you. And so when you have that mindset, you can be a little bit less possessive. But I do think a lot of people get very nervous, like, oh no, I don't want to risk this relationship. what if I lose this person? There's not going to be anyone else. They get kind of in scarcity. And then that makes them even more controlling. And then that sometimes is what I think leads to the demise of relationships is this sense of scarcity mindset. So I just think this is an interesting premise, but I think it's most interesting that she comes off as so sweet and endearing that you're literally like, honestly, I get it. Like, you can still keep seeing him. Like, I get it. Like, you could almost see the guy being like, I was a little skeptical. I was a little jealous, but you know what? I think if he means that much to you, you can see him on Tuesdays. You know what I mean? Like, you're almost like, I just want to give this girl what she wants. So I kind of am like, I've never seen a song where the woman presents as so wholesome and it is basically saying something so societally like taboo. Nowadays, unfortunately, I don't think it's a good thing, but nowadays you see a lot of ethically non-monogamous people, and they put themselves out on dating apps like ethically non-monogamous, and they're basically like, oh, we have an open marriage or whatever. And I'm like, okay, that can work, but sometimes it doesn't. Like, it has to be genuine that both people are truly poly, I guess. And then they have to have like all these rules, like you're my primary, but these people are just people I date on the side. Like, it gets really complicated, I think. So it can work. I just wouldn't be for me because I know I'm on the jealous side. And also, why would I even be in a like, why not just be single then, right? Like, I'm like, what's the advantage of then having you as a primary partner if I'm just going to date a bunch of guys at the same time? I don't know. I just find that a little bit like not for me personally. But in this song, you're just like, oh, like, yeah, that makes so much sense. She just loves both of them. So that's my reaction. I think it's what an interesting concept to be said in such a sweet way. And she just has such a beautiful voice and such, like I said, wholesome appearance. She just looks like a wholesome girl next door. You're like, she's just a nice girl. Like, she just loves two men, you know? It's not like Cardi B or Nicki Minaj out there rapping like, yo, I got two men on the side. I go from one house to the other. Like, okay. Like, and they have this like, like stripper look. So that's what would happen today if this song was made. But, there was a version, a man used to sing a song in the 2000s. I got hoes in different area codes, Okay. So that's common, I think, in men's songs or like there's this rap song, Tango Mucho Novia. I think it's Bad Bunny. Mucho Novio. I got mucho novio. It's like she basically has like mucho novios. He has a lot of novias. Like basically, yeah, it's Bad Bunny. Titi me pregunto. Okay, this is if I play the video, I'll get blocked for sure. But he basically is saying like I have. By the way, this is like the Super Bowl act, I think. So you gotta know this. Titi me pregunto si novio. Mucha novia. Una mañana. See, he has another woman tomorrow. And you ask me, do you have a lot of girlfriends? Yeah, I have a lot of girlfriends. And I have a different one tomorrow. Selfie. Say cheese. It's so catchy. The point is, when he goes on about all these women, see, me gustan mucho las Gabriela, las Patricia, las Noelle, las Sofia. My first novia in kinder, Maria, my first one from childhood, and my first love, that's called Talia. And then I have a Colombiana from Colombia. And so basically, she has one from a Mexicana and then from San Antonio. And I mean, like, he goes on and about all the girlfriends he has, right? And I'm saying that is kind of societally acceptable when men sing it and even talk about this many women, right? But then if a woman's just like, I have two guys, it's like, see what I'm saying? This is a very common concept in songs that men sing all the time. So just to play devil's advocate, and yes, look at the contrast between the way she sang it and the way he's saying it. Okay? His is with so much hubris. And anyway, this is your Super Bowl act, just in case you were like wondering who is Bad Bunny. I happen to like a lot of Bad Bunny songs, but I don't think of it as like, what are they saying? And I don't take it so seriously. I just think of it as like, it's really fun, like reggaeton music to dance to. And it's clever. Like, a lot of the way he says things are very clever. So let's see. What are my Bad Bunny recs? So obviously you should listen to Titi Me Pregunto. And then let me see what other songs I like from his things. Oh, he had a Tiny Desk concert. Maybe watch that so you can get ready for the Super Bowl. These are some of his new songs. I don't really know because he had a really new an album last year that I'm not sure. But yeah. Oh, he's I don't know. I have to look up. I don't even know how to like do this. Let's see. Videos. Popular. There we go. So yes, Mia. Con Mia, Mia. Yeah, I like that song. I probably know a lot of these songs, but don't know the names. La Canción, the 6 years ago. Yeah. Anyway, I would just go through his top hits basically if you were gonna explore Bad Bunny. But as you can see, he's huge. He's huge, huge, huge. In the Spanish market, he is huge. But 51 million subscribers. That's what I'm saying. In the Spanish market, he's huge, like all over Spanish music of the whole world. Just a lot of Americans don't know him because the Spanish music segment of America, I think, is very it's very segmented into cities like Miami, parts of New York, wherever like large Spanish speaking communities live, they have like a nice reggaeton and Spanish music scene. But then in other parts of America, there's like nothing like that. So it's kind of like, I'm sure, like San Antonio, Texas, or like parts of Houston, wherever you have like very big Spanish speaking communities. So just keep an eye on that. I happen to like Spanish clubs, and if I go to Mexico, I like going to clubs that play reggaeton. And I myself am a salsa dancer and bachata dancer. So I do enjoy a good Latin club. So I'm just saying. But what a different way to say it than her. I don't know how this tangent went on and on, but I hope that was interesting to you all. All right, I'll see you in the next video. If you want to, by the way, let's mark off this. I'm almost done with this 7-part request here. Torn between two lovers. I guess it was 6 parts, but it seemed like 7. I just have Helen ready, and then we'll mark this green. And then if you want a request to get on my spreadsheet, fill out my form. That's linked, the link tree at the top of my YouTube profile. Click on request form, fill it out, and that's how you get on this list from which I determine what I actually listen to. Everything green I have listened to. So it's quite a bit of fun here. And then these are the ones in the queue. So I work through it, and I don't know, I try to keep like a 2 to 3 week turnaround, though of course if you're requesting, I have my videos members first, but the cheapest membership on YouTube is $2 a month. So let's say your video comes out. However, if you send me like, a pretty significant tip and you're not yet a member of my Patreon, I often give like a free month of Patreon with it because then you can see your video as soon as it's published. So that's just courtesy for you guys tipping. So because I don't want you to have to then wait or then also sign up for membership to see the video early, right? Like if you tipped, I'll just and by the way, if you do tip and you see it under members only, just send me a message and I will send you a Patreon link to get a free month. Okay? Thanks. Okay, bye.